Okay, let's put on our conspiratorial hats for a few minutes here. Tom Clancy's The Division 1 has a very interesting pattern that surfaced again in Division 2, and both of them surfaced at around the same time, basically the end of life for the video game itself. However, the scenarios are a little bit different, but I guess in the sense of how they basically played out, they're different, but how they originated are quite similar. There was talk in the Division 1 days that the developers were done making the game. I remember they came out in a state of the game. And do you guys remember that? And the developer said, we have, decided to stop all development on the Division game. And this was met with a not so pretty roar from the community because people had started enjoying the incursions, a lot of the global events, and a lot of things that the developers had put into play. So we thought that this was the end of the entire Division game up until the developers decided otherwise and instead went ahead and added a PvE area to the game. This was called Resistance. It was very interesting where you could come in and you could basically have a DZ-like area where you fought against different enemy classes and different enemy types. And ladies and gentlemen, again, we got this almost the exact same scenario where the developer said, hey, we're done working on the Division 2. And then after that, promised 2 to 3 more years worth of continual support for the game. Hey, is it me or the developers, or maybe were the developers trying to use this to create buzz around their game because it was the end of life? Maybe saying things like, oh, we're no longer going to develop the game, probably caused a stir and an uproar and probably got people to pay attention. Who knows? It's just probably me just trying to join wires that are probably not needing to be joined. Perhaps, maybe, this was possibly the case. But most of you remember this area in the game's map, when it came and what it did to the entirety of the Division game as a whole. And I have to say that if you actually go ahead and evaluate things, it's probably, in my opinion, a smart move from the developers. But anyways, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that there's some correlation here with the way it panned out on both sides? Or do you think I'm just probably at this point putting on my tinfoil hat? I think it's way too uncanny. Like, I was looking at it just now thinking to myself, how is it possible that we had two similar scenarios where at one point the developers are saying the exact same thing and carrying out one action, and then again at another point they're saying something quite similar and carrying out what I think is a similar action? Perhaps we could say Heartland was probably somewhere in the mix there on, in the case of this one, with the Division 2, and in the case of the Division 1, maybe, it was just a whole different scenario, possibly. I guess, you could say maybe it's just a big coincidence. It could be, and there's nothing wrong in saying, in actually pointing out that there's a possible coincidence here and there, but I just find it quite convenient at the end of the day that this is how they decided to go ahead and play it. Okay. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Just like I said, I really do appreciate having these conversations with you guys about the Division. It's quite interesting to go back and reminisce. We'll probably maybe take a little tour around here because this was a really cool addition to the map. I really want to go back and explore it. It's quite bright. The way they set it up, the way they actually basically unveiled the skylines in the game is all really cool. All right, I'll get out of here like I promised. Thanks so much for watching the video. Appreciate you guys again, and we'll talk soon. Peace out.